Happy Wednesday. It's been a while since we talked about theme parks. I want to talk about my top 5 favorite theme park rides of all time, and you would be surprised that they're not all Disney rides. I'm gonna tell you what I like about the ride, basic theming of the ride, how fast the ride goes, and if I could convince CI to go on this ride. I wanted to make this a top 10, but I also wanted to keep this video not a million years long. I will name my top 10, but we're only really gonna get into the top 5. Number 10 is gonna be the Matterhorn in Disneyland. Number 9 is gonna be the Silver Bullet in Knott's Berry Farm. Number 8, and this probably comes as a shocker, is Expedition Everest in Walt Disney World. Number 7 is Indiana Jones in Disneyland. Number 6 is the Tower of Terror residing in Disney World. Okay! Let's get into the fun ones! Number 5 is the Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, before I even get into the stats, I want to say that if CI doesn't watch this part of the video, I could probably convince him to go on it because it's about Aerosmith. Okay, now that CI's gone, it's just us here. The Rock and Roller Coaster goes 57 miles an hour. It has multiple loops and corkscrews. It is Aerosmith themed. You like won a contest and you're like gonna be a VIP with Aerosmith. They're like, oh shoot, we're running late to this gig. Come with us. Let's get in our limo. It's gonna be a crazy ride. And like immediately you're sent into the loop. And I love that you can't, like, while you feel the pressure and you're pushed up against your seat like you are when you go on a loop in a roller coaster, you don't know that you're going on a loop or a corkscrew or that you're actually going 60 miles an hour. It's a dark ride, it has a great theme, and even though you're going so fast, you can notice the theming things as they fly by. It's a great example of Disney doing a really good job of making sure you understand what's going on. Number 4 is the Ghost Rider. The Ghost Rider is a wooden roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm. It was probably the first real roller coaster I ever went on, and I loved it. The Ghost Rider has a top speed of 56 miles an hour. And what I'm gonna say is no, I would not be able to convince CI to go on this ride. I did somehow convince another friend of mine that hates roller coasters to go on this ride. We were there for band. It was hilarious. I love that it's a wooden roller coaster. And I love that it doesn't need a theme to be a good ride, to be a good, thrilling, adrenaline-pumping experience. Number 3 is the Hulk roller coaster. I don't know its full title, but it's in Universal Studios Florida. I'm just gonna show you the launch and let you take a guess of whether or not I could convince CI to go on this ride. I'm gonna call that a no. I think you see that enough walking up to the ride that CI would see that and go, oh heck no, and be like, I'll wait for you at the exit. I was freaking out before this ride. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I was like, I guess if you're gonna go, I'm gonna go. Because it's fast. 67 miles an hour. I believe that's the second fastest roller coaster I've ever been on. The line queue, I think that Universal really hit the nail on the head in terms of theming on this one. It's about the chemicals and what makes a Hulk the Hulk, and then you Hulk out and you go 67 miles an hour. It's awesome. And there's loops and corkscrews and it's always so fast, and guess what? It's so smooth. The whole ride is so smooth. An insanely exhilarating experience to feel that wind through your hair and to know that you're gonna be safe but that you still get to feel this wild experience. The architecture. There's only so much you can do with a metal roller coaster to make it look cool, and they did a really good job of doing that. In my personal opinion, I really like the Hulk, even though I probably couldn't convince CI to go on it. Oh shoot! I could maybe convince CI to go on this ride before we even get started. Revenge of the Mummy in Universal Studios Orlando. Revenge of the Mummy is based on the original Mummy movie that was made in the 90s, I think? Once again, I bet I could convince CI to do this if he does not watch this section of the video. It's a good combination of a thrill ride and a roller coaster ride. While it is based on a scary movie, it's not scary. It blew me away. The effects that they have in this ride, there's a part where the ceiling lights on fire and the walls light on fire, and you can feel in your skin, just deep inside you, this heat.
Prepare to forfeit your souls! That is only the beginning!
doesn't start out as a scary ride. You get in this car and you ride around the corner and you see all the scary mummy things, and then it turns into a roller coaster. Funny story, Nathan's mom's gonna hate me. When we were in Universal Studios Orlando over spring break this year, she's like the expert in like planning these trips and making them work and doing everything you wanted to do, and she's like, okay, it's time to go on The Mummy. And I knew that The Mummy is a scary movie, and I don't like scary things. It's an anxiety fest over here, and I just can't handle it. I can't handle it. It's a trust between me and the movie director that I don't have, and I don't know how to establish. And so I asked Nathan's mom, and I said, I don't like scary movies. Is this a ride I should sit out on? Is this a ride I should meet you guys at the exit for? And she said, no, it's kind of like Indiana Jones and Disneyland. And I said, great, that's one of my favorite rides. And we get on the ride. And it starts out fine. Like I said, the ride does not start out scary. It's like creepy, but then it shoots, it like launches you 40 miles an hour. And I like freaked out. I was like, Indiana Jones? Okay, like, alright. And that's become like a joke now, is that everything is just like Indiana Jones. Thematically, they're both like, Egypt, don't get trapped, blah blah blah, curse. I can get how she made the connection, I just did not know that there was gonna be a 40-mile-per-hour launch in this ride. It's an amazing ride, and if you ever have the opportunity to go on that ride, go on it 1,000,000 times, because I've heard rumors that it's gonna get closed, because Universal likes to close down their top rides to keep with the trends. Don't do that. Don't do that! It's a good ride, and I would be upset if it closed before I got to go back to Universal. Now that I've just said that I don't like scary things, the number one ride on my list is the Haunted Mansion. I'm gonna link to one of my favorite videos about the Haunted Mansion, like the history of the Haunted Mansion, because one of the reasons I really like it is its complicated history. Essentially, what happened is Walt Disney's like, I want a spooky ride. And the Imagineers were like, great, let's get on that. They couldn't decide if they wanted to make it a horror, like pee your pants kind of scary, or if they wanted to make it like a silly scary. But it was one Imagineer versus the other, and they were throwing out concept art and ideas and just all this planning of what they wanted to do. Then the 1964 World's Fair happened. Everything went on hold for that as far as Disneyland goes. Then they started construction on the building, and they wanted to make the building scary, and Walt Disney's like, no, the ghosts will be on the inside. Disneyland is clean. So they were like, fine. And they built it, this great aesthetic, old southern, like, mansion. It's beautiful. After the World's Fair, after construction, the building is finished. And there was a sign posted that they're looking for ghosts and send all your ghosts over here. And they still don't know what's gonna go in there. And as they were kind of coming to a conclusion of what they were gonna make the ride, Walt Disney died. Who's gonna make the decisions now? So it got put on hold once again. And they came to the conclusion that they were gonna mix the scary with the silly. And I love that. I love how it doesn't have a story. There's like 4 or 5 different stories going on at the same time, and you have to know them to appreciate them and know what's going on. This is something that Disney never does. Disney always tells you the storyline of what's going on. Disney always makes the theme so good. I think it's because it's right after Walt Disney died, and they were like, well, what are we supposed to do now? I love this ride. And I bet I could convince CI to go on this ride. It's not like fast. It's not an adrenaline type ride, it's just a really good quality ride. Now, if Disney were to do this modern day and not give a ride a proper theme, I would be very upset. If you're in Disneyland right now, it's themed Nightmare Before Christmas themed, which is also okay, but I like the original version better. I hope you've enjoyed coming with me on this theme park journey. I want you to know that I do like other theme parks besides Disneyland. Disneyland is my favorite theme park, but I do like other theme parks besides Disneyland. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. The rest of you, I'll see you next week. Bye.
I think in your top 5, the one where you build your own car, Test Track.
It's not even top 10.
No, really?
Really?
I love that one.
I do love it.
Why do you hate all rides except for 10?
I don't hate all the rides except 10.
I can't believe I haven't even gotten top 5 yet. Like, I can't even think of any in Universal Florida. Are there any in Universal Florida?
It's
really?
just like Indiana Jones. The Mummy is number 2.
What?
The Mummy is number 2.
I cannot believe The Mummy is higher than Indiana Jones for you. I'm hijacking your video.
Okay, yes.
This is now a rice tips video.
Okay.
Brown rice can be stored in an airtight container in a cool, dark place for up to 6 months. Taste / hardness will vary depending on the quality and type of rice and the length of time it's cooked. So if you want softer rice, you're gonna want to add more water and cook it longer.
Do you want me to just tell you what the number one is?
No, I want to get it. Okay. Is the number one from a Disney park?
Yeah.
Good. Because if it's not that, then I don't even know who you are. We're dating. Oh, Figment. The Figment ride.
No, of course not.
That one.
The Figment ride is number 1 on the bottom 10 list of Lacey's bottom 10 Disney rides.
Does the Canada Room count as a ride?
The Canada Room does not count as a ride.
The Canada Room's my number 8 top ride. Haunted Mansion,
It's
obviously.
the Haunted Mansion.
Obviously, it's the Haunted Mansion. Duh.
Tell CI when we'll see him.
Tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think I'll see you the first time about Magic.
Wish us luck. We've never made rice before.
Yeah, right?
See, I won't go on any of these rides.